All right. It's a haven that's definitely a lot closer between these two teams, but Shopify Rebellion Black in the end to take the win. Now 2-1 in the series and one map away from being the champions here in our stage one playoffs. I mean, Roy, looking into this map, the fact that it was a lot closer was a great thing from M80, but just unfortunately not enough for them to take the map.
Yeah, this was a great continuation for SRB after securing the map 2. It was a hard-fought battle. It does feel like SRB is most certainly heating up, though. There's players that we haven't really talked about or highlighted very much that are starting to really come to life. That's BCJ, a player that, you know, he's had his impact. He most certainly has his impact, but not usually statistically. But now he's starting to heat up. Pancakes is heating up, and they're really finding ways to just keep M80 in check. They're really figuring out ways to minimize the Sato value. They're figuring out ways to minimize their bow and lurking value. It really does feel like they're slowly getting in control of all of M80's win conditions, at least here in this third map.
It's been really cool to see just kind of the little evolution throughout this series with the grand finals of two teams that have just been top notch here, Dan. And I think looking into this too, Shopify Rebellion Black, like those little adjustments, I think we're just been so clean throughout.
Yeah, especially towards the end, right? That second half was fully dominated by what we saw on the side of Shopify Rebellion Black. The first one, it was a back and forth between the two with that 6-6. But they had control of the attacking side. They were able to play at the pace that they wanted to with this Neon of Paint. That this time around, sure, it was not the one that was fragging out the most, but it was, as always, as Paint always does with the Neon, opening up the space, being very disruptive, and messing up with the setup that they had on the defense to try to stop this Neon and everything else that came in so fast. So it was really cool to see. Obviously, as Roy just talked about it, BCJ stepping up massively for this map 2 to make sure that Shopify Rebellion Black get to this match point in the series and be one map away from winning this grand final.
Yeah, most amount of kills in the lobby, 21 and 12. I mean, being able to have a step up at this point in the series to then put your team one away from clinching the grand final title has been really, really nice. And I think to Shopify Rebellion Black, it goes back to Roy. One of the things we praise them for is that anyone from this team can pop off at literally any point. So it's been cool to see that it's been different people throughout the series that have been able to claim that title.
Yeah, I think we can honestly safely say that about both teams. And I think they've proven that in the last two series that they've played. This time it was B-Dog stepping up, a player that's been a little bit quiet in the first and second map, who was a big proponent and a big key piece for M80's last victory as well. So we're seeing a lot of these players heating up. They're starting to fire on all cylinders, despite the setbacks, despite the obstacles. It does feel like everybody in the server is starting to shoot their gun correctly. And now it's going to be layers of strategy, layers of firepower, all these crazy things coming into play going into this fourth map of Pearl, because Pearl is going to be super interesting, guys, because both maps, just like the Lotus side, both teams are incredibly well versed on this map. We've seen so many highlights from them. We've seen so many good victories from them on this map as well. So it's going to be really interesting fourth map here in this best of 5.
Unless my notes are wrong, I think Pearl is the decider in this one. I think it's Bind next.
Yeah, we got Bind before.
Yeah, you're getting ahead of yourself. Hopefully we get to see a Pearl.
Right.
I'm fingers crossed we get to see a Pearl. But that's going to be reliant on an M80 in this next map. It is their pick, Dan, to be able to take it home. I think Bind is especially interesting for these two teams because once we get this best of 5, you really get to see the depths of these map pools. And Bind hasn't been something that we've seen from either team here in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, it's been some time since we last saw it. I was specifically looking at what M80 has been doing in this map. And I mean, last time that we saw them, as you said, not in playoffs, but it was against Trusting Plug. They were able to win that 13-9. But that was, what, like 3 weeks ago? It's been such a long time. So I feel like this is one where I like that we're going to this fourth map kind of not knowing what the expectations should be. We don't know what the compositions are going to be. I feel like it is very likely that teams are willing to change. I mean, we were seeing this in M80 with the Deadlock, with the Sky, with the Neon as well on Sato. And it's kind of a good reset as well for M80 to see if they're going to push us to that fifth map that we all want to see.
And what's really cool here about the fact we haven't seen Bind from M80 in a big time, well, Shopify Rebellion Black too, but M80 is a team that, well, since this Swiss stage have changed so much in terms of the cohesiveness and everything else together. So sure, the 3 times they played it throughout the Swiss stage maybe weren't necessarily wins, but the losses were close. The team has only scaled. And if Shopify Rebellion Black are relying on any recent tape, they're not really going to get anything that's too relevant here. So I think, Roy, that's going to be a really cool part of the series because it's how the teams can adjust and make those micro decisions in the map to come out on top.
Yeah, I think it's been really interesting because even in their interviews, they were talking about, balancing multiple compositions, balancing so many different things. And I feel like these are the two teams in the league that are just so adaptable and so versatile. And they just have players that can take on so many different roles, or just even just swap one agent in their compositions and still maintain such a high level of proficiency and so much versatility and just changes in pacing and strategy overall. So I feel like Bind is going to be really interesting because if Shopify Rebellion does pull the same composition they did last time and M80 keeps some version of their previous comp, we're going to see a clash of completely two different styles and paces on this map clashing here on Bind, and it will be interesting. But just a kind of a bit of a throwback, right? The last time we saw, actually, I'll just go into M80 since we're on the graphic for it. But the last time we saw M80 play this, it was against Trust and Plug. It was about 2 weeks ago. They had a pretty solid win against what was a heating up Trust and Plug as well. It looked good. Despite their composition looking weird, like a neon over the rays, it looked a little strange. But overall, the way they were approaching it, their set pieces, how they were approaching the map control, how they were accomplishing things on the map was beautiful, and it was very effective.
I think too, if anyone's looking at this win percentage, like, oh no, this is going to be a tough one, keep in mind those two losses that they faced on this map is they had Super Sub weeded in and said Sato wasn't incorporated into the roster yet. And it was a loss to TSM and Qbert Academy, the 9-13 and 11-13 respectively. So it's definitely one where they've had some tough bowls for Bind in the past, and that was not their complete roster. So I definitely am taking that percentage with a grain of salt. Looking on the opposing end for Shopify Rebellion Black, this is going to be a 100% win pool, but this is also then, Dan, looking at a match all the way from round 2 over a month and a half ago up against Core. Even if it was a strong showing then, how much can we really pull from this?
It was so long ago. Yes, it was a 13-3, but so what? The team is a completely different team to what we saw back then. Brock was still playing. He was playing Sky for them. And I just feel like we're going to be seeing something completely different. BCJ was on the get-go still. I feel like the changes are just bound to happen for both of the teams when it comes to the compositions of Bind. And that's why we said, this makes it even more exciting coming into this grand final because, yeah, you want to start really strong. You go into your best map picks. We don't win the map picks as we saw in that map of Fracture in Haven and the first one, or Fracture in Lotus. But as we go into this Bind, it's more mental games. It's a little work for the IGLs. It's a little work to make sure that you're adapting in time before it's too late, especially if you're for M80 and you want to see that map 5.
A little bit more work for us too to analyze the compositions coming up as our agent select is ready. And yeah, with the fact we haven't seen this from the teams in a long time, surely anticipating some swaps. We got to see no Senti before on the side of Shopify Rebellion Black. M80, they've been swapping things up a little bit. So now going into this, all right, Roy.
Yo, I did not. Okay, I expected a pivot in compositions, but an almost mirror matchup here on this fourth map in this grand finals. Best of 5 is crazy. The Tejo Breach coming out, no surprise. The composition has had so much value on other maps. I'm not surprised at all to see it come out, but obviously the main difference here being the different controllers. Spaz opting for the Astra, and then Brimstone opting for, M80 opting for the Brimmy. Of course, there are different strengths and weaknesses for both compositions, but I feel like the Astra is still very viable on this map, and I think this is going to be a really, really interesting fourth map here.
It could be a map 5, but it also could be a Shopify Rebellion Black taking this win at 3-1, and you need to keep your eyes on BCJ. He just did insane on the map of Haven with the Tejo. He's going to be on this Tejo once again now on Bind, and he's once again facing his old team. He's never lost against them before, and he's not trying to make it happen now.
These two teams facing up twice before, and M80 always comes out the loser, but now they have the opportunity to win out on Bind and try and take it to a map 5. We'll have to see if Shopify Rebellion Black can close this out in 3, or if M80 can take it all the way. It's time to finally head back over to your casters, Jen and Marks.
Thanks, Sierra. Yeah, M80 from one of their most banned maps to their map pick. What are they cooking? We haven't seen them in a while on this, but I'm here for it, Marks.
And once again, based on how M80 have been playing, they've done their homework. They've studied, and they are ready to take the exam right now, because we've seen that they have really done a lot of thinking, a lot of strategizing, a lot of set playing, a lot of that stuff that was kind of just question marks, especially too with Sato joining the squad so late. It feels like it's all been tidied up. And the Nest did an excellent job at highlighting the fact that, you know, the last time we've seen M80 on Bind has quite a different number of things has changed. And so I'm excited to see what they have specifically in mind by picking this map. On the other side as well, though, Shopify Rebellion Black, I anticipate that they still have some set strategies. They've done preparation on this map, even though they have only played it once. And so it's going to be really interesting to see this one playing out, because there are two very similar squads at this point going up against each other, as already Paint spots out that sound trap and is just going to be ready to jump on this B site at a moment's notice.
And M80 already were aggressive, just the double walk down on A, but we'll see how they can stand tall and sturdy on the B site as Bao. It's going to be wrapping around through elbow. Smoked off as B-Dog. Boombot will detect someone near for SRB as they just hold down. They could be subject to B-Dog, who has a flash, and Bao has created a threat, and Pancakes extends past. Paint has 3, and man, the coordination from SRB is beautiful to just get a little bit aggressive outside of the site, and it's B-Dog in 1 versus 3 with damage done. SRB with the pistol.
Yeah, fantastic job. Pancakes, of course, it's going to be someone who we want to keep our eyes on, especially in this map. Now onto the deadlock. Usually you bring that deadlock into that composition to play for more of these trap plays. We highlighted quite often before how breach is great because you stun people up, and then just like that, the salvos can go boom and it's all great. But at the same time, the Gravnet, the spacing that you can kind of afford with a deadlock will just make that stuff a little bit more effective. And so I'm imagining a good amount of good quality combo utility is going to be coming through from both of these sides. And well, you know, let's just hit the skip next button. We're skipping the intro, just getting into the meat and potatoes, because those are 2 salvos that just ended all of M80 right off the bat.
Important to note with the patch that we have that Deadlock's Gravnet is on a signature, so it regenerates, allowing Deadlock to be so much more lethal on the offense. And SRB have been quite lethal already. Paint has been... Okay, I guess we get a replay of this. You win and lose as a team, and I guess blow up as a team as well, but SRB have hit the B site hard, and the sonic sensors and hookah haven't affected them yet, so SRB to creep slowly past the smoke to get to the orb. Teho drone and reveal someone close. SSRB off the Gravnet. Pancakes can't confirm the kill, but BCJ will with the salvo. Smokes respawn there from M80. Keep SRB honest.
And once again, those are the types of trap plays that we're expecting. If the Gravnet lands its target and somebody finds out that someone's stuck in the whole net, then yeah, the salvos are just going to zoom, and kaboom. Very well executed there. Sato had no chance of survival. Of course, Pancakes getting taken out in the midst of all that was not exactly how Shopify Rebellion planned for that one to go. But regardless, just an excellent understanding of how to use that utility as now the flood through comes in onto the safe site.
Numbers equal, better weapons on the defense. They know Showers is coming. The Molly not there in time before Paint and Spaz kick the door down. There's no one left from M80 on A except this fight from Hokianos with salvos. And okay, Spaz has really started lighting up the kill feed as the series has gone on. And SRB have built quite a streak for themselves too.
Oh yeah, now 3 in a row. And it did seem like at that point, M80, they were really determined at taking over Showers control. We're really going to make this work. We're going to find some rifles, and it's going to be our time to shine. And unfortunately, while they were doing that, Shopify just completely walk in onto that B site, and none of the players from M80 are looking in the appropriate direction. So it's easy pickings for the team that had the less weaponry to get a nice, solid bonus checked off. M80 going aggressive this time, and Pancakes just holding a nasty angle to watch for it.
M80 did this on the pistol. They're trying their luck at it again. Didn't get any action last time because SRB were flooding into B like off the rip. So the barrier will delay things. Maybe wanting to capitalize on the boom bot, so Paint stays in his place. The spike as well. There's a 3-man walker from M80 through showers. And it may be up to B-Dog to delay things, and he does a decent job with the Sheriff, I gotta say. More to worry about. No flank for you. But who expects the second flank? Okeanos on his way. Spaz, as aware as he can be, holding it while the rest of SRB start to scale or even wait out the smoke. Okeanos loses to the Vandal. As it should be, as it is written. SRB on the 4th streak.
Yeah, no more shenanigans kind of going on here. Keep it nice and honest, Valorant. And I want to point people's attention to the lineup that we're seeing from M80. Of note, we're seeing a little bit of a swap around as to who some of these agents are being played by. Keep in mind, B-Dog before has been on the controller, and Bao has been the one playing the Sentinel, while Caillou is the one who's playing that Initiator. But given how frag forward thinking Deadlock really subscribes to, we're now seeing Caillou being onto that Deadlock Sentinel role, while Bao is responsible for the smokes. One thing that we highlighted about Bao was being so effective at getting those flanks online, lurking around, finding excellent timings, threading the needle through all of these little gaps to make sure to find a couple of kills or anchoring sites down. But I have to question how much of that is going to translate forwards here, as Bao now has to be a little bit more active with how the Sky Smokes work on the Brimstone. B-Dog as well, swapping over to more of that Initiator role. Can't really be that lurker in the funny spots anymore. Has to just kind of play together with Sato, set up Sato for a lot of that synergy. And these are some of those question marks that I have, whether or not that practice is put together in order to enable the maximum potential of this composition.
I think this is a comfort map for Caillou. He was the whole reason they won against Trust and Plug, dropping 30 kills, but just gets rolled over. He's really good at delaying into hookah, but they needed to see some adjustments. Really smart decision making on when that barrier comes up, and it's to keep SRB separated. And Paint drops so low, and maybe he wanted to go for a showstopper play, and as soon as he just tries to peek, no util, can't do much. But this was just to really sell the fake. M80 have reinforced 3 now on the B because of Sato's, or Paint's presence, I should say. Meanwhile, the real hit is at A. And the smokes are what's delayed. SRB, Paint. Oh, the showstopper doesn't connect. It was a little too short. And Bao can thank the green boxes for it. The salvo's too suppressed. And man, Bao's gonna need some help. There's the op at the back, helping as much as they can. SRB have no breach util left. Sonic sensors to place in the post play, but I don't think M80 are gonna let them have a chance to breathe. Holy cow.
Talk about discombobulation from Shopify Rebellion. They had all the positioning that they need. They found the kills necessary and were set up at the right areas, but a couple of weird flashes, a couple of stepping into inconvenient areas, and suddenly Sato gets maximum value off of that operator, and still Caillou is alive in order to find that final kill. It works out perfectly for M80 here. And yeah, we see actually Paint, I think the shoes got clipped there through the wall, so still alive with 30 HP. Got the zoom in just to reinforce that fact. But unfortunately not able to find as much value this time around. Paint kind of got shut down with the showstopper finding minimal value as well. So M80, a very good round to be able to take away. And now I want to see that momentum just carry forwards, because Bao one away from the orbital strike. Sato has that showstopper online. They've got tools to make sure that they can deny Shopify Rebellion on the entry.
Yeah, M80 have stacked the B site way more in a more conservative approach to their deadlock, having the sonic sensors on, the grab net in. M80 looks to capitalize on the setup from Caillou, and they just walk into the trap. They walk into pain. And it's SRB still with the spike in hand. Losing maybe, yeah, their main entry player. Still very happy with that exchange. Still an op, though, that SRB have to worry about. Now they've really dialed things back, trying to sell this fake like they have left B.
allowing Spaz 2 to get into position here. A Cosmic Divide still available for Shopify Rebellion. And especially too, if they want to reinforce this defense, make sure this is a round win. That could be an excellent tool, as Pancakes could go fishing after those couple of kills there, reel someone in left with the Annihilation. This could still work out well for Shopify Rebellion.
And this Annihilation, looking for a target. It's all smoked off. You're just gonna have to go in blind. And it captured a target. And B-Dog is just going for a fault line and will flank from the off angle. And SRB will confirm the kill with the Annihilation. Almost the ace for Pancakes. Sato won't give it to him. Keeps the op.
Wow. Pancakes just coming alive on that last one. Finds a couple of people, the Annihilation as well, just for good measure, and just walks around the site completely uncontested. Shuts down any pressure that M80 wanted on that retake. And so Sato left alone on an island. All those tools I talked about, not even getting a chance really for M80 to really utilize a lot of them. And so just to keep the big sniper rifle into the next round, its presence was hidden, I believe. I don't think that Sato really got a single shot off. And so this is still something that could catch Shopify Rebellion off guard in this next round, because we know how effective Sato is when that giant sniper is in his hands.
Just kind of want to see a replay of the Annihilation, because I swear there was a second player, and like, could they have not have broken that player out? And we shifted towards the breach, which was, yeah, Sato's there, but it's smoked, and maybe he didn't want to reveal the op, and I don't know. That's a tough decision to make. And M80 post timeout, they made a dent, but SRB are back on their high horse.
Once again, keep in mind, this is for the win here. If Shopify are able to just walk away with all of these rounds for free, then it's going to be a lot easier for them to be able to clear out this series. Sato gets spotted out here and fragged up.
Oh, Paint! Goodbye, Sato. Cosmic Divide. This could hurt SRB in the end. You prevent the shots from going in, but you don't hear what's on the other side. Paint will go in deaf and blind as the Armageddon from Okeanos makes the space. Paint finds the timing to go 1 for 1 in the barrier to stop the entry. So if M80 push past that Cosmic Divide, he won't be able to go any further as B-Dog Aftershock forces movement.
Okay.
Pancakes is lighting things up for SRB. The absolute GOAT, and even the Annihilation conversion in the previous round. This has really propelled to a more successful SRB B offense more than ever.
Yeah, amazing utility combination there. I mean, we'll talk about playing off of each other to a T. The Annihilation, first of all, okay, we got to start with Paint being locked on the other side of the barrier. It's going to be there. And so you see that, like, even with the Cosmic Divide up, they're like, okay, well, as soon as we walk through to here, we're going to be completely cut off, and then they're just going to be able to gun us down. But then Paint is the one who goes through and finds a little bit of a timing after spotting the gun barrel there. Does get immediately punished, but then the Armageddon comes through. Pancakes throws down the grab net and then gets the spray through. Tejo is excellent at forcing people to reposition themselves, and that is just amazing just combination of utility for an absolute wombo combo coming in from Shopify Rebellion on that last round.
I mean, you need to stem the bleeding. It won't be this round unless another weird thrifty happens. This is getting so out of hand. And B-Dog, oh, he's cooking. Bao and B-Dog, the double Bs. And Caillou, well, no longer Caillou. Rolling Thunder now hits, and who's gonna follow up with that? You just run into the crossbar. Someone's sitting in a corner. Motzi makes it look so free. Now he has to take the teleport, and not synced up with the team, but will be so shortly as the spike heads to A.
Just an amazing trap getting set up there from Shopify Rebellion. They know that they're gonna just hyper focus onto Paint, so they prepare an excellent protocol to counter.
Sato can just hold it down and U-haul. Be patient, be annoying. If anyone pushes this, you're pretty much guaranteed a kill with the Bucky. Could even take the rifle, but that's actually an outlaw. Maybe not what you want. Go back to the Bucky. Oh, it's too late. That's not what she wanted.
Much like the spike in a post plant, you just kind of get stuck there and then everything's exploding around you. So not really able to do too much there at the very end. Sato will be getting the operator yet again, but I am just so impressed right now by Shopify Rebellion. Everything feels nice and well mechanized in order to play off of each other. A lot of just utility good combinations, a lot of just playing off of misinformation being set up by the different teammates. It feels like they're just having fun right now, and that is the type of mindset you want to be in, especially too in a grand finals, right? And they could be poised to win it all. It's 7-1 against M80. And we do have a little bit of a tech pause here, but Shopify Rebellion, like they just look like they're grooving on the map.
I sent the fun police after you. Sorry. Hate to tell you now.
Hey, cut that out. You're having too much fun.
Well, this is the opposite of fun for M80 because we've seen them have deficits. What, 4-8, 6-1? Those are the type of deficits they face. This is now tough. If they don't win this rifle round, speaking of M80, I feel really bad about my pred. I'm loyal. I'm not like Roy where I'm flip-flopping. But I'm like this spray right now. This is insane.
I thought we agreed that Roy doesn't get a vote. Wasn't that what we decided upon?
Oh, yeah. I told Prod not to let him do that.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, like once again, Shopify Rebellion Black, like if they can continue this momentum, it's just going to look even better for them. Obviously, they are a more stronger attacking side team. This looks extremely well coordinated from them. But M80, like, I don't know. This is the first time that we're seeing this squad play this map, and it feels not fully put together. I talked about how M80, you know, they previously have done their homework. We've seen a lot of counter-stratting against Shopify Rebellion, but I guess at the same time, how do you counter-strat something that Shopify has only played once? You don't fully know what's in the depths of their playbook. And Shopify, well, clearly they've done their preparation in order to make sure this is an easy map just in case it gets pulled out.
Oh, a very different B site with where this deadlock is. Sato, op down B long, Boombot to help get vision too, get some info. Very quiet, scaled back SRB. We've done this in the past. Gives them time to coordinate. Paint shell or paint shell, sure, but it's the showstopper I'm curious about. It's hearing this op this close, quick reaction from SRB to run after that op, and Okeanos supports, keeps the op in hand from Sato while SRB had used the Rolling Thunder to get in, but they haven't benefited, and they haven't even gotten into the site. SRB may just want to ditch this and head elsewhere with how much attention they got.
And honestly, just excellent respect being played to Sato. They know that operator's there, and they're so scared to peek it, and this is what M80 need to win this round.
Sato, fall line, plays as safe as he can, and the annihilation. I don't think grabbed anyone, but SRB doesn't matter. They're claiming bodies, claiming lives. 10 seconds left though to plant, and it's Monsi. Has no support in this scenario. Oh, and he just got spotted on the cross. Tough one. What M80 I said needed desperately this round, but where the credits are, they have an op and a phantom. What's their pie gonna look like?
It's gonna be a little bit tight here. I mean, thankfully they are mostly able to buy everything up. We are seeing Caillou come in with that judge, but that last round was just a good demonstration of just playing your life. Staying alive creates a lot of pressure and headache for Shopify Rebellion. I mean, you see them just kind of dropping in from window, trying to find an angle, knowing that the operator is on the other side. So they were really waiting just to make sure those cooldowns come back online, and yet still were not able to walk away with the round. Shopify Rebellion now looking at exploring hookah a little bit more, but I imagine we're going to see a bit more of a subdued play like last time until they get information or until they're able to find a pick on one of these sides of the map.
Right here.
Salvos into hookah. The Tejo drone to check it out. This is one of the best maps to run a shotgun on, so I think Caillou can still get a lot of value. Saw what the Bucky just did in U-Haul. But SRB can just try to overwhelm that with util. That's the grab net. It's good information, even if you can't capitalize. The Salvos and the paint shells, and Caillou still gets away with a kill. SRB are missing their duelists, but they're not missing out on hope. As the spam through the smoke works. This B-Dog is a flash, and Sato on his way with the off. Still having both initiators. It's going to be pretty important with Salvos that did just regenerate there from Okeanos. It's the annihilation. Yeah, again, how many of these has Pancakes got? He's so rich. Needs a target. Maybe just throw it down into heaven. And it does claim one. It will be traded and it's spam down. BCJ will confirm now on the B-Dog. 3 versus 2 on the post plant for SRB. Running out of time. Sato and Okeanos ditch the op. They start to progress and take space, taking down Okeanos. Needs to buy time, and there's no defuse that's safe enough for Sato. And SRB deny a big comeback from M80.
And just good, really resilience coming in from Shopify Rebellion there, and discipline, most importantly. The fact that they like wait things out. Okay, we can get ahead on this one. Let's let them flood into us because we've got so much utility and that annihilation as well to make their lives so much more painful. The barrier comes up right in front of them. They got to spray that one down. Okay, we want to coordinate that with someone dropping in from heaven. Hey, that person who's going to be dropping in from heaven immediately just caught into the fishnet. It's so well executed by Shopify, not really giving up an opportunity for M80 to worm their way in at all. So just excellent job from Shopify Rebellion as already Pete finds 2 kills despite the firing squad that is behind him.
There's such a depth of strategy from SRB, from forcing M80 to full stack to B, to now SRB kicking down showers. Wait a minute, I said the shotguns go crazy on this map. I was so serious. Equalization almost. Giving them a chance. M80 on the save, on the eco, but it's SRB that will still finish off at the end of the day. And they get up to almost the end of the series, Marks.
Yeah, they're really just kind of lining up the rounds and knocking them down. It was looking a little scary. Bucky in hand. Oh no, are we having one of those moments? But thankfully, like in the panic, in the scuffle, there's more than enough people here from Shopify Rebellion to make sure that they are punishing it. If there were only 2 there, this could have turned around. B-Dog might have been able to do something extremely cheeky there. So with that, Shopify Rebellion now on 9. It's going to be full rifles coming in. We're seeing Bao not have everything, but it's aggressive from M80 as the Armageddon gets let rip.
Oh, just really investing everything into this for M80, even some buying down to 0. Sato's op pushing mid of all places. The rest of his team are worried about what Paint did to them in showers last round. Have kept their eyes and their focus 4 over on the A site for M80. Really gambling that that's going to be the hit after how easy that seemed to be for SRB. Now the net, Paint checking things out. And it's tough. SRB could still do a lot of damage at close range.
Oh,
M80 back away.
I have to question the use of the Armageddon there. I think if it went in the other direction, you would have forced them to push forwards, and then we could have seen M80 find a couple of kills. The fact that it went the other way, it forced all the players to leave, and so Sato finds no value, but that's okay. Dry operator peak will do just fine.
Yeah. Sato in heaven, now drops down, gets... what is he doing? 4? If M80 wins this, it's because Sato wills it. Incredible. With the ace potential, finished off by Okeanos. M80 head into the second half down 3-9 with a mountain to have to climb up to.
That was the Satoist round of all time. With an operator in hand, somehow is able to find enough, gets the showstopper online, flying through the air, finds somebody else. Sato unreal. It's honestly, that might have just been the shot of injection left back in, and oh, okay, it was actually a misplay there. Paint dropped to the operator, and so Sato was the one who picked that one up, and that kind of led to this entire downfall. That kind of sucks if you are Shopify Rebellion there, but it's okay because they've got more than enough rounds, so they've got enough comfort room. But I still have to question whether or not M80 are going to be able to pull together a bit of a comeback. It all starts here on this pistol round. They need to secure this one if they want to start to climb their way back into this match.
SRB have won the last 3 pistols, and then Sato, the timing of running into those salvos. Oh, that's so pain for M80. And it's not getting any easier. It's not getting any better. SRB find the timing of peaking as a team through showers. M80 are stuck. Plenty of time to play the head games, but not enough friends. Put the pieces down. Bao, though, hasn't given up. So up to SRB going back to the game plan. Hold U-Haul. Pancakes has the cutoff. Decides to play it safe. Information for SRB. So Kianos has the salvos to push them back. He lines up the shot and strikes down 2. Oh, Kianos, the clutch lord for M80. Who is able to flip these rounds on their head. Spaz now a 1v2, what looked winnable when SRB were 5 versus 3. Oh, Kianos gets 3 to give M80 the pistol.
Wow. It feels like I'm at a loss of words because there is almost no mistakes that I could really fault Shopify Rebellion Black for on that pistol round. The use of utility to isolate your targets, immediately take them out where you don't even have to look at them. It was so well executed. And yet somehow Okeanos just kind of walks in, taking these dry peeks, finds all the heads necessary. And Spaz had an opportunity here, and it came down to just putting the gun barrel in the other person's head. But still, M80 walk away with it. Okeanos keeping them alive in this one as the pistol goes their way.
Oh, catching strays, paint, collecting orbs like it's an Easter egg hunt. Got it.
That's in a month.
M80 just... Ooh, can't wait.
Too early.
Alright. M80 though, they're hunting as well, but Pancakes is trying to get information there. And remember, this is M80's anti-eco and one that they need to really have an impact on so they can carry through as much as they can, including the hero vandal from Okeanos. And there's a net that catches M80, and Hookah concusses salvos M80. Ooh! Sato would corner to work with. There's the flood in though from M80, a plant, good coverage, barrier at the door. SRB ready to flood together with B-Dog. A flash as soon as they lock eyes. M80 playing out of sight, out of mind. Off contact. SRB is suppressing fire. Not making much moves, maybe waiting for Spaz to come on the flank there from Hookah as B-Dog has to use the flash to keep Spaz suppressed. SRB, less util for them to face. As the paint shells, the grab net, SRB come out of their angles. BCJ with the salvos that get Caillou. The flood back in from SRB, but Sato is different. The duelist that can duel. But it's not over yet, but the spike is ticking down, so it kind of is over. But getting your weapons, getting out. Solid for SRB, or for M80, I should say.
Yeah, they walk away with the round, but I actually really like what we got to see from Shopify Rebellion there. They're able to do quite a bit of economic damage, which raises just enough questions as to how M80 want to play into this next one. Importantly, it doesn't look like they will be buying up the rifles to stay alive. Yeah, Sato just kind of dodging all of the obstacles on the ground, somehow winds up a double kill to get closer to having that showstopper online. But this is still an eco coming through as M80 are going to try and fight for this bonus. Shopify Rebellion, on the other hand, they're going to have the rifles, and I've been very impressed by the protocols of utility that they've been executing with.
That's where M80 are second half Henrys. Just watch. I'm having so much cope right now, but I don't know. The salvos are peppering down M80. They're very much stuck. Then aftershock that silences SRB for the moment with sheriffs that need the right lineups. M80 won't get second chances if there's a gunfight with the Phantoms that await them on the other side.
Nice and slow right now, and honestly, that's an excellent disengagement coming in from M80. They force out a lot of the utility and draw a lot of the players from Shopify Rebellion over to reinforce that B site. Paint, though, might have an excellent timing if M80 decide to go towards A, and it actually looks like they might be peeling off back towards B.
So M80 having to re-clear this is very painful. And knowing that SRB could be anywhere and everywhere all at once. How did Bao know? How? M80, the wrinkles to their brain are insane, but the salvo timing, the concuss says M80 walk in, they're tossed up and fed to Monsi for dinner. And this was already a round that M80 didn't have a goodbye going into, and they're just picking up rifles and hoping for the best. They really needed to build up an eco and build up a streak to catch up to SRB.
It's going to be tough. We do see a lot of utility come through. Looking at Monsi, BCJ will have the salvos back online. So there are tools to work off of.
That molly was used already, so not available for the post plant. A lot still available for SRB. The spike getting touched. BCJ with the backup, surging forward for the finish is Spaz. And SRB not letting any momentum build for the M80 side. 3 away from being your Challengers champions.
It's getting closer and closer right now for Shopify Rebellion, and it feels like they're not even under that much pressure anymore. Everything seems to be hum-hawing along, and they feel nice and confident. BCJ now 1 orb away from getting another Armageddon online. If we see a round 4 Armageddon, that is going to be crazy, but M80, obviously the weapon differential really hurt them in that last round. Let's see what they can scrape together. Okeano's just 2 away from having that Armageddon online, and Caillou as well, just 1 away from having the Annihilation. Especially too when you're trying to invade onto a site, Annihilation is an amazing ultimate if you can just take somebody out before they can even react.
This is a must-win for M80. For where their economy is, how much they've invested, buying down to 0 even at times.
Sound sensor up.
Not where that wanted to be. There we go. It's a hookah exchange. Off contact, Caillou with the slip away. Puts BCJ to bed. Annihilation earned, and the ping captures the target. No response from SRB, but a flank from Paint will at least get revenge for his teammate before Bao steps up. And it's a scrap that favors M80, because they still have some fight left in them.
Yeah, it's not done yet, and Oki 2 will now have Annihilation, or sorry, the Armageddon online. Caillou finding that grab is so good. You can see the defenders were starting to go through, Paint trying to come in and reinforce it, but really just the Annihilation forces Shopify Rebellion's hand. They have to do something, otherwise they're just giving up that site for free. And in the midst of all of that chaos, M80, cool and collected, just shoot them down 1 by 1. So an excellent little play coming out from M80 to make sure that just off of a single ultimate, they can secure that round and stay alive in this.
And for where M80's credits were at, being able to keep all of these weapons is so fantastic for them, but a lot of rounds that they have to still put together. With SRB that can't trip over their laces, not yet. It's just been a back and forth affair with neither team really able to build a win streak, a solid one in the second half. But Paint Shells and Armageddons, or Paint Shells, a showstopper, and 2 Armageddons.
Yep.
You gotta be really smart. You don't want to be too antsy with those Armageddons, as you've pointed out in the past.
Yeah. It's, once again, like, a lot of the Tejo stuff is to force people out of positions, force people to either run towards you or split the team up. That is where the Armageddon finds maximum value. Obviously, getting kills is fantastic too, but you just want to be a little bit more tactical about this. Sato holding a very forward angle here, but Monsi and Paint are just kind of waiting for stuff before they let it rip and try and catch somebody off guard. not able to do so here. So M80, they still cut all noise and keep mysterious as ever.
No immediate reaction from SRB to be aggressive off the orb tap, or no boom bot, no showstopper pop out. At least SRB can stay put. Crossfire between Paint and Spaz. Jump peek. Oh, but the suppression did hit that player in U-Haul. Armageddon at the backside. M80 funnel right into the barrel of Paint. And SRB with the lesser weapons, but not the lesser team. Scrap and fight through the close range battle. And M80 lose all of their weapons. And probably this round, 1v4 for Okeanos.
30 seconds
Probably has
left.
the highest clutch percentage, but I don't know when he's by himself. Spike down 2. Not an easy feat. Starts with 1. Gets the attention. Oh, spotted the coat on Heaven. Thinks he has a second to check another angle. But man, Okeanos was surrounded from the get-go. SRB 11.
Wow, unreal play there coming through from Shopify Rebellion, just really holding things so close in the smokes there. M80, they use the Armageddon. They decide to flood in, but they haven't cleared everything out. There's no flash, no nothing in order to make sure that it's going to be safe for them to go through. And Paint is rewarded immaculately for just standing their ground, and they just run right into a hail of bullets. M80 not able to walk away out of that one. Shopify Rebellion, they look closer and closer to claiming victory here in the grand finals. Especially with how the economy is going, things aren't looking too great for M80, and so they are going to be taking their second tactical timeout to try and regroup themselves and start to string together some rounds here, because the mental does not feel very well. It feels a little bit boomed right now on that squad. So taking a breather, relaxing, trying to figure out what the protocols are for some of the stuff that Shopify are doing is what's going to help make sure that they keep into this. They're getting scrappy right now, and what we need to see them do is be more coordinated.
SRB have just had an incredible showing this stage. They're on a 6-match win streak, which includes the last 2 rounds of the Swiss stage. I don't think a lot of people expected just how deep into this bracket that they would get for them to beat all the teams that they did, and to possibly beat M80 a 3rd time. A top 3 team. It's not over yet. As Sato satchels in after spotting BCJ's jump peek. The salvos almost caught Sato again. That's not the first time that SRB have done that. And M80 can't really get the space. They can get the kills though, but it's costing most of Sato's life. Drone didn't get the suppression. As SRB stabilized, now down a person.
Importantly, Sato stays alive throughout all that, still has the showstopper available. And so honestly, it's just Paint that unfortunately ends up on the shorter end of the stick. Uses the showstopper as well. Gets absolutely no value out of that initial scrim that happens so often outside of B long. And now, M80 look and set their sights onto this A site. Still a lot of traps being set up here off of the plays. A lot of opportunities for some of these stuns to come through, which might make things a lot more difficult for M80 to properly go in. And Pancakes is going to be so aware of what's going on now.
Sato needs to be quick and accurate with the showstopper, but really M80 just flood on in and are not going to take the risk. And then Bao could have the orbital strike very soon, but it's the Armageddon from BCJ. The showstopper from the attack. 10 seconds left and the plant hasn't happened yet. SRB are on top of them like butter on toast. And they bought M80 by themselves some time. It's Spaz that could do it with the 4K to defuse. Match point, series point.
An unbelievable play coming through from Spaz. Yeah, Spaz, take a moment there. I imagine him standing up out of his desk and high-fiving the rest of the team there, because that is unreal. A 1v3 scenario, finds the clutch, looks in all of the right directions, and it feels so buttery smooth. An amazing little play there from Spaz to get them now to match point, and M80. It was so well done. They got in, they made sure that they were able to get the spike down. Shopify doing a good job at keeping them at bay, and yet still Spaz comes out on top despite all odds. That's a little bit of a heartbreaker, but you got to keep your head in the game right now. Shopify 1 round away from winning our grand finals.
Such a good clutch. Oh, that op scary. The orbital strike from Bao gets it. Paint down. No op. 2 left on the site for SRB. Cosmic Divide, Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder is on the other side of the map. Still get into position to help. Tejo will be in the mid-map. Okeanos has to not deny that. The Annihilation doesn't grab. Oh, it did grab someone from SRB. M80 will have numbers. And the salvos will protect them during the plant. But there is the double flank. Okeanos could be a victim. But now he's with the rest of the team as they hold down for potentially a final time on the round. Now the flank discovered. Monty there. Rolling Thunder 2 versus 3. This is possible for Shopify Rebellion Black. He may not even need the ult. And the Rolling Thunder, a teammate gets out of the way. And M80 should too. Not with Sato still on the field. And it's Spaz that won't be able to clutch this time. M80. Ooh, gotta stay on their toes.
Oh, they really do. And you know what? That's an excellent round from M80. They're able to get so much of these ultimates out of the way. We see Monty just let it rip. They think that they've got an opportunity for that Rolling Thunder. And Sato able to clutch up the round, reinvigorating M80, making sure that they're not out of this one just quite yet. And the economy too, Shopify Rebellion was not looking super pretty on that last round. This next one, they should have a little bit of a better time, but still just an excellent job at pulling those tools out of Shopify Rebellion's pockets. Yeah, it's just a save going through, but they are running it down.
Get a rifle from that too. They give it to Paint. That's the GOAT. They'll continue flanking. And M80, well, they'll gamble that there's no one on this site. And they have it free to go. Sonic Sensor to try and catch this flank with the barrier at the back site. M80 have their ducks in a row. And it's time to play Duck Hunt. It's Shopify Rebellion Black with their Annihilation. How much do they want to invest? How much do they want to play the long game? The Sato, or sorry, that's supposed to be Sato's up, but it's B-Dog that holds it.
B-Dog doing an excellent job at sniping as well.
Yeah, he's A-Dog. Running into John Wick out here, counter fault lines. The op doesn't get a second. SRB, gotta be careful how they approach. You never know when that op's gonna peek you, and at this point, you just go down with the spike, and Spaz is gonna teleport to keep the Vandal. And this game's going the distance.
It really is, and at this point too, M80 just 4 rounds away from getting ourselves into an overtime scenario. B-Dog with the operator that time around. So we talked about Sato being one, but if you watch some of the previous matches that M80 has, B-Dog is not afraid to bring that out as well. Usually playing the Yeoman to go into these fun little angles with that operator. But of course on the Breach, just playing more standard stuff, can land those shots when necessary. M80, they need to get the steamroll going. They're going up against an Annihilation and a Cosmic Divide from Shopify Rebellion. And already it's going to be that early utility trap to at least stun out BCJ. But thankfully the rest of the team there is just there to make sure that nothing strange can happen.
A good counter fire from Spaz. Gonna put the fear in him. M80 at B-Dog with the Rolling Thunder. Ready at Showers. This Paint will call the push. Maybe set himself up to be in heaven, to have a better sight line and safer position to be at, but overall it's just going to help support the site. Barrier, though, is in Showers preemptively from Pancake, so if this Rolling Thunder comes out, yeah, they got to deal with that first. Now the plan has to be executed. The fault line kind of delays things, and there is Sato immediately on the execute. Response from Pancakes. Annihilation at 2 HP. You're going down with me. Rolling Thunder on the offense. M80 bulldoze their way in. The smokes obscure their vision and their path to victory. And it's equal numbers, but not equal health. SRB have their backs against the wall, but it's a teleport play. It's a fake. And all rise on Spaz. And if he can halt this, Bao still sells the fake. It's still up to Spaz. Can't get a single one. But Motzi was quick on the rotate. The sonic sensor, if he runs out, will be tough. But the flash is the edge for Motzi. And the blade of Merge is barely missing the op shot from M80. And it still hits at the end of the day. B-Dog is on one. Okeanos on the flank. Motzi is about to get pinched. And okay, the flashy plays with the shotgun ain't gonna be it. Salvo on the post plant is still important. Motzi 6 HP, but he still has an incredible shot. Defuse not even halfway. M80 have now gotten a 3 streak. Hold on, folks.
It's happening. It's potentially happening here. I don't want to say anything just quite yet, but M80 are starting to be cooking a little bit. And Shopify Rebellion, this time around, they're not really going to have the proper weaponry to deal with a lot of this. You can still see that a lot of these trap plays are starting to come through, but it feels like these weird, strange moments of opportunity arise for M80, where when there's so much chaos going on, they just worm their way around some of those smokes, worm their way around some of those flashes, and are able to find very pivotal kills onto the members of Shopify Rebellion. Already an early fault line as Pink goes exploring.
SRB win this off a thrifty. I'll go bald, I swear to God. And Wyatt didn't want to see it. I don't think we will. With just the catch on the salvos. M80 gathering orbs. There's a flank too forming on the left side of the map there from BCJ. Could take the rifle from Bao if he's not careful, but the M80 train is coming. And oh, BCJ can't land the one shot he needed. No second chances on the Sheriff at times, but calling out the rotate, the pivot is pretty important. With a 3 versus 5 retake could be painful. There's still the sonic sensors too from Pancakes. He's already in position to disrupt this plan, but he's going to be suppressed from the Tejo drone. But with the barrier in place, another fake. Okay.
Yes, plenty of time on the clock, so plenty of time to run back around. Monty in a fun angle here, but doesn't really have good weaponry to deal with this. A lot of damage though on the bow.
He wants to get as close as possible. And Okeanos, the eagle eye. M80 one step at a time, keeping every weapon, keeping their hopes and their cope up to build up those ults they need to close the gap. At one point, M80 were down 2-9. And SRB just need one round. M80 still have another map to go if they pull this out. It's a flawless one for M80 to put a smile on their face.
Oh yeah, I mean, they've got to be feeling good right now. The Comeback King title feels like it is very much earned by M80. So many of these final matches have we seen M80 just, you know, look so down and out, looking like a little sad puppy in some of these rounds, and then suddenly, like, it just flops back around, and then they're able to chain together amazing Valorant play where they feel like they're always getting the jump on top of their opponents. And we're seeing one of those moments happen right here in front of us. Coming into this next one, Okeanos with the Armageddon. Sato has that showstopper, and Bao 2 away from getting the orbital strike as well. Shopify Rebellion taking a nice needed time out. They need one more round, but M80 are making them work for every single kill in these rounds.
And Shopify Rebellion are using a timeout, and they still have a second one. This is their first one. That's just how much they're not breaking a sweat, and I think I would start sweating right now if I was SRB. I don't know. Valorant's all about fake comebacks though, but I wish I could get popcorn right now though, Marks. I'm stressed.
Yep. I mean, hey, you were the one right now who betted on M80. The only one, if I recall. So yeah. The rest of us were like, oh yeah, Shopify Rebellion, they should be chilling right now. And yet somehow M80 really making Shopify work for their meal. And coming off this timeout, let's see what Shopify Rebellion have talked about and discussed. Because right now, M80 feel like they're just on a steamroll.
Oh, just M80 keep walking into these salvo traps.
Uh-oh.
Usually it's just done a bit of damage, but it fully catches Caillou. That is really tough for M80.
especially to Caillou doing a lot of those set play traps. Those grav nets have gotten so much value. But once again, just superior utility usage and comboing coming out from Shopify Rebellion. That is something I am so impressed with this squad.
The net too. Ooh, that was so cool from SRB. Quick pivot from M80 after B-Dog got sights on showers. The drone goes in, won't suppress, won't get much info. Fault line pressures paint, and with the op, it has to ring true. Showstopper play to put on a show for M80, and up close and personal with Spaz. Sato lives on. The smokes are covering heaven. SRB will have to await how this retake will go. No Cosmic Divide with Spaz being down early. M80 trying to pull together a 4v5 turnaround. Now the smokes are diminished, and it's a U-Haul op from B-Dog. And B-Dog and friends from M80 converging together. Wow. And it's an exchange as it's Monty and Pancakes doing the Lord's work. And it's up to Bao, who will not bow down at this moment with the Molly bind time on the spike. And it's over. Shopify Rebellion Black, your Challengers champions.
Fantastic stuff coming out from Shopify Rebellion. It was looking like maybe that fake comeback was in the cards, but not going to be the case at all. They let their map pick a fracture, one that we expected them to be the winners of, slide through, but they say, and no big deal, coming back on Lotus, winning out Haven, and of course, closing it out on Bind. I have to say, M80 looks like such an impressive team to me. Obviously, Sato joining the squad very late. They've organized a lot of things and put them together, but they still have just a little bit of room to grow and a little bit of room to get a little bit more comfortable playing off of each other. On the other side of the equation, Shopify Rebellion Black bringing Monty in as their new IGL. I mean, just the utility that was coming out, it just looked fantastic. And when things were starting to slip away, they just dial it back a little bit, rely on the utility a little more, and are able to clean house, winning things 3-1 in this series.
Just the most competitive Challenger season we've had yet. Dryad said that right. Who would have expected that? Who would have known these two teams being at this point? I mean, M80 makes a little more sense, but the evolution that we saw Shopify Rebellion go on, every single player having their pop-off moments, and a different roster that stepped up to the plate to crown themselves a champion and a three-peat winner against M80. And a series that could have gone the distance that got dicey at the end. Big congratulations to Shopify Rebellion Black, and they're all together celebrating this win. And we're going to grab them for an interview, so don't go anywhere, guys.
It's not to call, and like it's nice to have the knowledge, but not have like the whole job of doing it. We're the most resilient team.
Paint's turn to let the overdrive go, and it's like watching a stallion run in an open field. What are you
No, BCJ, he's very vocal, he's our co, and Monty's our IGL. Honestly, everyone has their own role. Like, my job is to relay information and be a turd.
And huge congratulations to Shopify Rebellion Black for being your Stage 1 playoff champions. 3-1 series. We don't get the map number 5, but such a strong showing. It was so well-deserved. Roy, they made us sweat a little bit on that final map. That was a M80 to get quite a few rounds under their belt, almost pushing it to an overtime, but Shopify Rebellion Black, they'll close it out strong.
Yeah, the absolute tug of war between both of these teams. And of course, congratulations to SRB, an inspiring turn of events ever since losing Brock and with pickup of Monty. There was so much doubt, so much criticism with this roster. How are they going to bounce back? How are they going to look with an IGL when they already have so many IGLs? So to see their form, to see the level of play that they're at is incredibly inspiring. And of course, commiserations to M80, who almost completed the full lower bracket run, the full comeback, turning things, being resilient themselves, really showing everybody that they can overcome so many different obstacles, almost turning things around in this grand finals. And honestly, just overall impressed by both of these teams.
It's been really cool to see how this shaped up. I mean, these were teams that, Dan, there was so much expectations at the very beginning of stage 1, and teams that they had to undergo a little bit. And for Shopify Rebellion Black, when you're talking about losing Brock, he was such a strong player, gaining Monty and then switching IGLs from Monty Colleen, and this team that clicked better than ever under that. It has been really cool to see this team's growth throughout.
And it's crazy that, I mean, they won the grand finals with Monty being sick. As we remembered last match, he couldn't even play. They had Vapin stepping in, the coach, to play. And as he was saying, it is a coach's dream to be able to play in a match. But they, of course, wanted to have the IDL, the guy, play on this grand final, and he did an amazing job, even if he was a little bit sick today and has been for the last few days. It's not easy to do. I mean, performing, if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, it's very, very complicated. So all my respect to Shopify Rebellion Black. This team really deserves it. It seems like from the beginning, we knew that what they were capable of doing, but they still continue to impress us map after map, match after match. Even today, we went into the map of Fracture thinking, oh, wait, they lost this. This was their best map. What is going to happen now? Is it going to be M80 getting the win? And then they just come back like it's nothing, and they secure that 3-1.
I love that the fact that they kept us on our toes and we got to see the first map not really necessarily go their way, but then how things were changed up afterwards, then be able to clean sweep the series from there, I thought was overly impressive. And of course, Roy, too, we are looking at, this great that they're the stage 1 champions, but the end of the road, this is all about qualifying for Ascension to try and take that down to make it to Partnership League. And looking at the Shopify Rebellion Black roster, if this is what's to come, I mean, we might be seeing them at the biggest stages sometime soon.
Yeah, I mean, their form is just looking so great right now, but stage 1 is really just the intro to these teams. Like, we're expecting stage 2 and stage 3 to be even more competitive than what we're seeing right now, with teams growing and optimizing their strategy even further. They're only going to get better and better, and the level of play and the level of competition in VCL is only going to improve throughout the year. It's great to Shopify Rebellion Black and M80 have a head start on the points, of course, for Ascensions, but overall, this was really just the intro, a taste for what we're going to be seeing in stage 2 and 3.
It is really cool to see, and it feels like the beginning for a lot of these players, or the continuation for the players that we know a little bit more of, right? We think about BCJ, what he's done internationally, what he's done in that tier 1, and now grinding in that tier 2 as he's been since last year to try to make it back up. And then if we even think about Paint and how he subbed in for MIBR last year, these names that we recognize, but they continue to make waves to make sure that everybody's talking about them, and we'll continue to talk about them for the rest of the year and see if they can make it to Ascension and maybe lift that trophy at the end.
And I love, too, that for Shopify Rebellion Black, that this is a mix of players with those different backgrounds, but people that we've seen here in Challengers before. And to be able to see how everything comes together, and maybe like those past teams that it just wasn't their time, and how much success this team is having now, I think is a really cool development across the board, Roy. So it's the biggest congratulations. And M80, I mean, they fought hard. I mean, Sato popping off. Like, it's definitely a tough loss for M80, but at the same time, when we're talking about that growth, M80 has experienced a lot of it there throughout that lower bracket run, and there's still a whole year of Valorant ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, these rosters are also so young, so the level of resilience, the level of mental just locking in is just incredible. It really is inspiring. And of course, I mean, we have to give our shout out and our roses to Spaz as well, right? Because, I mean, the guy's an absolute beast this series. He was a big point, a person that we hardly spoke about coming into the season. Obviously, we have with big names like Paint, who had his tier 1 debut earlier this year, or end of last year, I suppose. Monsi as well, a player that, people get, a lot of people in the scene knew he was a good player, but no one really knew that he was able to call at such a high level. Of course, Pancakes coming in from a different roster. So just like the difference in levels and different expectations and backgrounds, like you said, for the SRB side, and for all of that to just come together and look so great and just on an immaculate run since the roster change with picking up Monsi has just been really just inspiring, honestly.
Yeah, it's been cool. Obviously, this was a roster with a lot of expectations going into this year with a vision that didn't necessarily seem realized. And there was the conversations, okay, is this roster not meant to be? Like, what's not working here? There's all these great reasons for having all of these talented players, and it just wasn't working out. So be able to see that, and at the end of the road, this is the form that are showing off that hard work truly paid off has been really nice.
Especially when you look at how this year started for them, right? A little questionable. We were like, okay, is this hard not gonna have the best run? Is this team not the one that people are expecting, or are the expectations too high? But then they started recovering after maybe that second, third week, and they seem unstoppable. You see all the matches that they won back to back to back like it was nothing. And this is something that is really nice, because now we have a better idea of how not only Shopify Rebellion Black is looking, but also you can compare it to the level of all the other teams, right, that they were playing, that they got the chance to play, and that they're going to play as well in the future.
This has just been such a cool journey to watch for a lot of these players that really just weren't getting that recognition in the past. That to get this recognition now has been nice. And then I'm so excited. There is talks to Roy about earlier on not getting to see the Shopify Rebellion Black roster go up against those other big teams that we talked about. And I'm sure that we'll get to see a lot of that, but this is going to be the big team to talk about from here on out. And it's really, really cool to see that the growth from them, Roy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely loving what we're seeing. But yeah, I think you're completely right. We finally have a sense of the power rankings. We had no idea what to expect coming into this year. We didn't know who the overdog was. We didn't know who the underdogs were. People we thought were underdogs are making it all the way. People we thought were overdogs are getting eliminated early. It's been absolute madness here in playoffs and in stage one. So I personally am looking forward. I'm sure I speak for a lot of us that we're all looking forward for stage two and how things will shape up then.
And I'm looking forward to being able to hear from the team as we have everyone on call for the post-match interview after that win. So let's head on over to that. We got almost everybody on camera. Monsi, of course, and not because he's sick, but congratulations, everyone. BCJ, I see that you have the headset on, so I'll talk to you first. How does it feel, stage one champion?
Yeah, man, it feels great. It was a long, hard process for us. A lot of big changes within the team, obviously. But yeah, we're happy and stress-free. We were even stress-free in that last map as well. Our comms were really good. We were locked in.
I mean, stress-free for the last one is great, but how about the stress after the first map, considering that's one that last time you faced M80, very strong victory. They kind of gave it back to you guys a little bit.
Yeah, I felt like the coaches came in and kind of told us what we needed to fix, and we just weren't able to adapt and come back and fix those things quick enough. So that's why they were able to kind of sleeper kind of take that first map. We feel really good on all the maps that we played today, so we feel like we should have won every map. So to lose a map is pretty disappointing.
I mean, there's still a lot of Valorant this year to win out on. So one little hiccup in the road, I'm sure it'll be fine. Monsi, I hear that you're here on the mic as well. Can you hear me, bud? All right, yeah, I can hear you. Perfect. Monsi, how are you feeling? I'm so glad that you can join us. I'm so glad we got to see you play today. How's it going?
Feels good, feeling great. Oh, I don't know if my thing is working. My Discord's lagging a lot. Sorry, guys, but I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm glad that you're feeling good. I'll let you chill. I know that you haven't been feeling well. I'll keep talking to the rest of the team here. I mean, looking at this final map here, BCJ, we're looking at an M80 that's starting to string these rounds together. Things starting to look a little iffy. You're saying it's stress-free, but is there a moment of thought where it's like, okay, we might be going to a map 5, or how do you look to close that out?
I mean, shit, we're really comfortable with Bind. We really wanted to take him there. We knew that they would try to throw a curveball at us because our map pool is better than theirs. So we knew that Bind could come up. When it did, we were prepared. Even with their comp switch, we weren't really worried at all. So
team too.
Yeah, who do you want?
Who wants the mic next? Who wants
Who
the
wants
mic?
the mic first? All right, Jake's standing up. You got pancakes.
All right. Instantly standing up.
We did it!
You did
We
it!
did it! Shout out Jason Tatum, man.
Huge congratulations, Pancakes. I want to talk about you being on this roster and this recognition because you're someone we've gotten to see a lot from in Challengers in the past, even if things haven't necessarily clicked. And you're somebody that, when this team was formed, got a lot of praise for just what a good player you were and that you never really got that recognition. So how does it feel now to be stage 1 champ?
It feels great. I mean, we put in a lot of work and it's paying off so far. We just gotta not get complacent and then win another one.
You have balloons in the background too for the congrats.
Yeah, something's going on. I don't know.
You gotta keep it fun. How has just the vibe been with everything over there too? The fact that you guys get to actually sit there all in the same room, play together. How has that been in comparison to other teams that maybe don't quite have that?
Pretty fun to be in person and see each other every day, you know, like walking to the facility, you know, driving the boys, listening to music. So, I mean, it's been great. It's been great for a while.
I'm so glad to hear. And I want to talk to someone who I haven't really necessarily gotten to talk throughout the season and talk to Spaz a little bit, especially big step ups coming in this last series. Come over here, bud. Hello. Hi. How are you feeling?
Hi. I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing.
What a step up from you, not just in this last series, but throughout the split too. And I want to ask you, how has it been? Like, obviously this team, you've gone through a lot. You've then lose Brock, you get Monty in, everything's having to click. How do you then find yourself being able to perform at your max and be able to put on such a great performance here, clutch up when needed?
I'll be honest, I have to hand it all to Monzi. He's kind of carrying my ass.
I think you're...
The Nepo buff is real, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, no, we can't go there. We can't go there. I mean...
Okay, we won't bring that out. All right.
I mean, you're someone as well that throughout this roster, we've really been able to see a lot of highlight. I want to know how you're feeling going into the rest of the season with this team.
I'm looking forward to a lot of things. I'm looking forward to win every other tournament that's coming up and then hopefully make Ascension.
A big road ahead, and it'll be exciting to see. You performed absolutely amazing today. And last but not least, Paint hiding there in the back. If you would like a word.
Please have a word.
Hello. Congratulations. It's always fun with the pass the one single headset around for this, but like going into this is a Challengers League that's absolutely stacked with duelists. There is a lot of talks with these other duelists at the beginning, and you've been able to be showing up and showing out, especially when needed. Like, how has that been? Do you think too, like this conversation shift around that you gotta people gotta recognize you more for what you bring to this team?
Well, honestly, I think the first thing for me, at least, is that like I'm really like appreciative of like God, because I mean like he helped me understand that he basically just told me that like everything that I'm doing currently is like all a process, like through the bad times. And I wouldn't say like 3 months ago I was considered like a good duelist in my mind, even, you know, but the constant hard work that I put myself through and to improve and reach greatness in general, to be a better duelist player, I think like honestly I could really like thank him for that, you know, because I wasn't really like able to understand it too well myself, but I think I have a better understanding of what I need to keep doing to improve and get better as a player. So that's really fire. I think when it comes to duelists, yeah, it's stacked. I think every single duelist player will always like have their specific like things that make them great or perfect or good in everyone else's eyes. But I think what my like overall trait is, and I think like I don't think many people have it, is just like perseverance, you know? A lot of these people like really like to give up and don't really have that that drive to just like fucking sorry for swearing, but they don't really have that drive for, you know, just like constantly working hard and putting in like the hours that like are gruesome. So I honestly, yeah, I think that perseverance is like the main thing to go by when it comes to just like understanding how to be a good duelist player. Like confidence is key, et cetera, et cetera. And like I always will live by that. Really grateful to have one in with these set of players next to me. It's really great.
Paint, it's just been absolutely such a pleasure to really be able to see you flourish throughout this Challenger stage. And We're going to be ending off with one more question. I don't know if there's anyone in particular that wants to have the final words here as we wrap up our interview, or are we going to stick with you here, Paint?
Nope.
All right. All up to you, bud. Of course, with this team, stage 1 is only the beginning. Ascension is going to be it at the end of the road. How are you feeling about this team? Is this the team that we're going to see make it to Ascension and potentially make partnership?
Yeah, there's no slacking on this team when it comes to how we treat our practices. There is no. What? Okay. They're saying it's cope. Sorry, we will. sorry. They're saying it's cope. Okay, never mind. Let me rephrase it. So we're gonna keep working hard over the course of the year through the slacking times or when we are working our hardest, because there's gonna be good or bad days, of course, right, guys? Okay. Yeah, good or bad days, and we're gonna keep trying to be perfect in the sense of the game, understanding it. There you go.
I
and
cannot
thank you to
wait
all the fans.
There we go. Paint, Shopify Rebellion Black, everyone, thank you all so much. Congratulations on the win. You guys deserved it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Back over to the desk. It's so nice seeing everyone from the team. It's such a fun time. I love the smiles over there, and I'm excited, Roy, for what's to come for the rest of the year. I mean, it's a Shopify Rebellion Black that they have overcome some hurdles, and they're smiling. I love the confidence.
Yeah, Dan, go ahead. You got this. I believe in you.
No, I just wanted to say that I think it's so sweet that you interview one by one of everything that they have to say and how much I feel like it really shows why we're here, how much it means to them to win this. And yes, it's only stage 1, is not quite Ascension just yet, but you can tell, and you're talking about it when you saw them and we went right into the interview, they were on their phones making sure that they were making that post that they won, and they're bragging about it, and they got to do it right away for the interactions. I get it, but it's so sweet. Like, you really understand why we're doing all this, why we have this year too, why we have challengers, because it means everything to the players to keep winning, to have this path to make it to the top, and that is a lot of people's dreams, not only in challengers but at the bottom of the tier 3, people that are just playing ranked, people that are watching their favorite pro players. So taking those steps little by little and making sure that you have a path to make your dreams come true.
I love that you talk about the path and the dreams, and looking at the bracket one last time. It's something that we've really gotten to see from a variety of teams from all of these different paths. I mean, you have BCJ that's been able to experience this and then making that run last year. This is the run back. You're getting to see other players that haven't necessarily gotten that praise in the past that, I mean, frankly, Roy, they really deserved. So being able to see that they could take stage 1, that the dream's not done yet. There's still a lot of Valorant throughout this year, but this is a great step in the direction. If they keep playing like this, I'm certain those dreams will come true for them.
Yeah, and I absolutely love the fact that their heads are still on, right? Like, they're not getting too cocky. They're going to keep working hard. They're not going to get overconfident. They're going to keep up, what got them here, which is the hard work, perseverance, as they say, just being prepped for their matches and just maintaining that level of grind. I think that is really the key thing for these teams. So yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to it. And if there's really any important takeaways for me specifically, it's that the level of competition is really ramping up. Players are starting to really rise to the next level. Everyone's leveling up. The IGLs are pushing each other. The coaches are pushing each other. Everyone's trying to get the win, and they're going to do everything they can in their powers to do so. So I'm excited for the stage 2.
And as we talked about as well, now that we saw Shopify Rebellion Black get this #1 spot and play these grand finals, now we have a better idea of the team. So I feel like now it gets more exciting. The more that we get to see matches, the more that we go once again into the group stages and into the playoffs to see how stage 2 is going to look like. It's more exciting. And once okay, this is the #1 team, everybody's looking at Shopify Rebellion Black, everybody's going to be looking at M80 and seeing if there's going to be another underdog story, as we saw for Winthrop University, who ended up in the 3rd spot, or there's going to be new players coming in, roster changes that we're already seeing. I mean, there's going to be a lot, and that's happening very soon as well.
And the fact that all these teams had all of this confidence here in the playoff bracket, but there's going to only be one best. I'm sure that the stage 2 is going to be full of revenge stories and these teams pushing themselves to be the very best. And I cannot wait. But that is it for our stage 1 and our playoffs. Roy, Dan, all of our casters have joined us in production. Thank you all so much for absolutely crushing it throughout this entire stage. And for you, the viewers, for following along, cheering on your teams and the players and supporting them all. We'll be back to stage 2 very soon. Thank you all again for tuning in. We'll see you then.
I think we kind of caught like a nice little stride in these past few days.
M80, we're winning 5 versus 3, but
It was pretty good. My team is pretty insane.
Armageddon coming through the fault line.
It's normal to feel that kind of pressure, especially because I'm an import.
Sato with the opposite problem. And he still finds three.
I'm the duelist. I have to make sure that I'm able to frag out.
Oh, nobody gets inside this of the numbers. It's up to BCJ to save the map in a 1v3. The Stinger isn't going to be too good, but at close range, didn't want to spray down the spike carrier. Nope, doesn't want to reveal his position, but is still going to confirm this kill and upgrade to the Phantom. Salvos will peak, but Okeano's finish worry about for M80. They've got plans to push through tree, the Prowler to clear it, and SRB are close too. And they're just gonna pivot and swing into Caillou, who holds his own, but the Paranoia will give the edge, the advantage to Spaz. Pancakes makes up for the numbers. Spaz finishes it for SRB!
Defenders win.
SRB got the last laugh in overtime, and it's SRB with the full setup and an Omen teleport from B-Dog, who's gonna stick it somehow, and he's in the corner, and he gets a stun from his teammate, and really disrupts the game plan for SRB, delays the plant, but won't stop it. Sato thinks he has timing, rounds the corner, catches paint, 1v1, and Monty clutches it again. 5 turnaround. Now the smokes are diminished, and it's a U-Haul op from B-Dog. And B-Dog and friends from M80 converging together. And it's an exchange as it's Monty and Pancakes doing the Lord's work. And it's up to Bao, who will not bow down at this moment with the Molly by time on the spike. And it's over. Shopify Rebellion Black, your Challengers champions.
Fantastic stuff coming out from Shopify Rebellion. It was looking like maybe that fake comeback was in the cards, but not going to be the case at all. They let their map Pick a Fracture, one that we expected them to be the winners of, slide through, but they say no big deal. Coming back on Lotus, winning out Haven, and of course, closing it out on Bind. I have to say, M80 looks like such an impressive